Kicked out of home, forced to throw away my bed, replaced with a used mattress, all for petty spite. So I was debating writing about this for a while, because I still feel very selfish and entitled myself for being mad about this. But the more I think about it, the more I tell myself, I don't deserve this. So here it is. I finally got the nerve. I did omit a lot of details though to just the stuff strictly relevant to the situation. I'm 23 FTM and after high school I continued to live with my mom while searching for a place of my own. It's not that I wanted to live at home either. In fact, I was entirely fed up with the cramped space and no privacy. The area though was so expensive that you'd need 5 roommates, a sacrifice of a leg, and a contract with the Demon King himself to afford rent, especially on my working income at the time. For reference, no apartment was under $2,000 a month if it had 2 bedrooms or more and I'm minimum wage. My mom was fine with me living with her and I kept to my own space and helped pay rent, went grocery shopping, and did chores around the house. Every few days when I didn't work nights, I'd make dinner for everyone, so it was going decently for a few years while I continued looking. My younger sister suddenly had a baby last year with no preparation. One of those, I'll figure it out after it's born, situations where she did not, in fact, figure it out. 3 months in, my mother demanded for adoption despite the entire family saying not to. Not only could we not afford a baby, we also didn't have any space, and we all worked very grueling, long-hour jobs. Everyone was telling her not to do it, with my aunt even offering to take the baby in instead because she had the time and money, and she didn't have any kids of her own, but my mom refused. I had no say in a lot of the stuff in my bedroom being thrown in the trash to make room, and when I mentioned how I didn't even have a say in the baby being in my room, I was told, families make sacrifices. I was frustrated but decided not to make it a battle. I have a severe sleep disorder and knew a crying baby at night would impact my sleep and work a lot, but there wasn't anything I could say to change her mind, so I just accepted it as a new part of life. But when the baby came in, I was kicked out before long. She made it increasingly clear that I wasn't wanted at home anymore. She regularly cooked dinner and didn't make enough for me, despite me never doing the same to them, and I was told to heat up leftovers. Still, I didn't say anything. When the baby began walking and learning what hitting was, I became her favorite target, and was scolded if I complained or moved when she came up and slapped me. Sometimes, my mother would even stare to watch what I would do when she saw the baby walking up. Apparently, quietly getting up and stepping out of the room after getting hit was not the response she wanted. I never once raised my voice or injured the baby, but not actively praising her for hitting my laptop while I was filing my taxes was the worst sin I could have done. I eventually got fed up and called her on it. I told her she wanted the baby at the house. I never signed up for it. If she wanted the baby praised and doted on, she could do it too and not push me to do it when I clearly was busy and or didn't appreciate being constantly hit. My mother retorted again that I had to make sacrifices and it was part of being an adult. In awe, I was stunned to silence and just walked away. From that day, she was much colder to me, sighing every time she saw me out of my room, kicking me out of the living room if I was watching a show on TV on my day off, and not going shopping at ALL. She actively avoided food shopping and only bought baby food, while she ate on her lunch break. It was rather petty, I thought, so I simply bought my own food, and nobody in the house would make dinner anymore. When I wasn't bothered by it, she began another tactic of complaining I shouldn't be at home when I'm over 18 anymore, and would send me housing listings. I looked at them every time but there was always something wrong. $5,000 rent, run down and falling apart. Way too far to commute to work, in a dangerous neighborhood, etc. Not that I was picky or coarse, my only requirements was it being safe, in working order, and affordable. I didn't care about anything else when it came to housing, and I felt my requirements were fairly reasonable. One day I had a friend come over. She was coming to pick me up so we could head for a birthday party. So I ran to my room to grab my things and the gift I had prepared, and I heard them talking before I walked back out. My mother was complaining to HER that I still lived there and thought it would be good for us to find a place as roommates. Embarrassed and annoyed I returned and a small argument fell between the three of us, ending when I opened up the rental page to look at the listings in front of her. She happened to find something, an apartment way too far to commute, and barely affordable, but she made me apply for it in front of her. Whatever, I thought, there's no guarantee I'll get it. Well, I was accepted along with my new roommate. Within a week, my things were U-hailed and the moment I was gone, my mother began doing renovations and house parties at her place. Not relevant, but in case anyone is curious, I got to work by cab from there. One thing that became an issue was my bed and frame. I wanted to take it with me, It was a perfectly fine bed. A double, with a fitting frame and a drawer underneath for storage. I had it since high school but it was in fantastic condition. She refused to let me take it with me and insisted it should just go to the dump and she'd buy me a new one. My aunt offered to get me a new one first. She said I was an adult and I should have a queen size rather than a double, and she would get it for me. I was super excited and we picked out the perfect one. She promised she'd get it for me when she got paid the following month and I thanked her profusely. Since she was getting me a new bed, I said it was okay for my mom to trash my old one and I stopped resisting it. Then suddenly my mother told me she found me a brand new mattress. I didn't know this at the time. She secretly told my aunt not to get me anything because she was getting it instead, and my aunt thought I knew, so the promised mattress was never coming. I believed this one was a temporary until I got the new one. My mom let me believe that for about 2 months. She brought it over and said, I didn't need to buy one after all. A friend of mine gave me theirs. It's still new. It was significantly smaller than my first bed but I didn't want to be greedy or ungrateful, so I accepted it. It was a twin, and at my size, I could barely fit on it, but I was grateful to have a bed. Only an issue. It was new to me. The bed had some gross stains on it of various colors. I simply covered them with a mattress cover, thinking, this is my bed now, it's alright. I'll get the real bed soon. My aunt wanted to keep helping though and said she would get me a frame for the twin so I would get off the ground. When the new frame arrived, she insisted for a video call to see it all set up. I showed her the built frame and bed and she asked how I liked it, which went a bit like this. Aunt, so what do you think? Are you excited? Me. Yes, it's great. I was able to put it together, thank you. Aunt. You're welcome. What about your covers? Do they fit? Me. Yeah, they're alright. I was kinda looking forward to the one we picked out though. Aunt. I know, but at least you got a new bed. Me. True, there is a small problem with it though. Aunt. A problem? What? Your mom said it was brand new. Me. Well, it's new to me. It kinda came with some stains. Aunt. What? Are you serious? Let me see. I showed her the stains. Not tiny stains either. They're massive, taking up half of the bottom bed with thick, dark colors. When she saw, she was in shock. Aunt. Oh my god. That is not okay. Where did your mom get it? Me. She said she got it from a friend for free. The friend said it was unused though. Aunt. I knew your mom would cheap out. She told me not to get you one. Me. Huh? No, I was really excited for the one we chose. I didn't want to say anything. I was just happy to have a bed. I was looking forward to that mattress for months. Aunt. No, not okay. You've been sleeping on that for months? Please tell me you have a mattress cover. Your mom said it was brand new out of the box. That needs to be dumped immediately. Tell you what, I'll get you the new mattress and your mom and I will go halves on it. It didn't take long for my mom to be chewed out for the mattress and she accepted paying for half of a new one. So I went to the mattress store to check for new ones. The one my aunt and I looked at was already gone. And I found one. When I called my mom though, she said she couldn't go halves because she just had to pay for something and she was broke, making my aunt foot almost the entire bill. To prevent a fight, she contributed around $40. I was going to help but she refused to accept anything because I'm still in a rough financial spot because of my new rent, while also saying it was supposed to be my mom, not me. About a week later I visit my mom to pick up some mail of mine, only to see she couldn't afford the mattress because she had bought a giant plastic playhouse for the baby. There was a mini one in the bedroom already, but she felt the baby needed a big one outside in case her playmates came over. I can't help but feel there's some petty feelings still left over from when I wouldn't engage with the baby how she wanted me to, but I've stopped fighting it. At least someone is on my side right now. I know I'm an adult, I should be responsible for myself, so I often feel like I'm being selfish and ungrateful about the whole situation. But I wasn't financially ready to leave and she knew that. I even tried to make up to her by cooking, paying half the rent, doing chores, and staying out of the main rooms as best I could. But also forcing me to throw out my good bed to replace it with a stranger's free used mattress is probably unreasonable, right? Like feeling this petty towards your own kid definitely feels like entitled parent behavior to me. Sorry if this ran on long, I felt it wouldn't make sense without the full context, and I'm on mobile too. The real new mattress is being delivered next week. Fingers crossed, folded hands. Thank you again, Auntie. I definitely don't have the verbal destruction skills you do.